showing you how, you got to know this stuff, right? So I highly recommend get with Todd, let him go over your personal situation, because it's really going to determine when you may want to exit your company. Does that make sense? Because when you know that stuff, then you go, wait a second, if I want to live my lifestyle, I need 3 million. And I've only got 1 million, like, there's a gap here. Maybe I shouldn't sell now, maybe I should wait a little bit, right? So important. So next up is Allan Callaghan. Allan is a business broker. He's been doing this for many years, all over the Southeast. And so we're going to talk, he's going to share with you some exit strategies and some other things you need to think about now. Remember, this is all about planning now, so like 3 years or more you could sell it. Are you with me? Remember, if you don't have 3 years, it's difficult. That's why I'm so excited you folks are here, because you're getting the information now so you can start making the changes you need to make. Okay? So eventually when you exit, you'll know what to do. So Allan, I'm going to turn it over to you. Here's the clicker. Todd didn't break it, so it's still working.
Well, thank you very much. And like I said, I'm founder and president of HRC Consulting. And just basically, you know, the passion of what it is it comes from being out in the field and seeing what happens. And, you know, coming from, you know, a father who exited his business and retired at 55, it kind of showed me some ways that things could be done and kind of, you know, live to enjoy what's going on. Simple background, was in college hotel management, actually in Ireland and also in Zurich, Switzerland. Immigrated here 23 years ago. 23 years ago, a member of IBBA, which is the International Business Brokers Association, NACFA, which is National Association of Certified Valuators. I've been Irish, of course, got into the bar business here when I got here first. And, I remember one time I was in Mobile, Alabama, trying to join the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick. I was outside waiting to be voted in, and when they heard what I did, it was like unanimous. It was like the room erupted. But I've got I own several licensing agreements, basically related to helping with business solutions. Business broker for over 12 years. Transacted, you know, 25 million plus in sales, and you know, basically an expert, but basically I understand how to help people get top dollar in their business. I would consider myself more of a quantity broker or a quality broker rather than a quantity. I like to focus on the individuals. I like to help people set up their business over time. I'm not the broker that wants to get you today because you need to sell tomorrow. I'm the broker that wants to see you 3 years ahead of time and help you exit eventually. Because basically we can use strategies to maximize the dollar that you go when you exit. And basically supporting buyers in what's the best fit to exit, because there's so many different ways to exit, and just what fits them most, which, you know, with tax implications and all that. Okay, basically what Chip had said earlier is that 90% of businesses listed for sale never sell. And people are astounded by that. They don't realize they sit there for years in their business thinking, you know what, I'm going to work this for 30 years, I'm going to blood, sweat and tears, and then you come to the day when you decide to sell your business, and suddenly someone like me comes along and says, well, actually I hate to break the bad news to you, but really your business has no value at all. Now, it's not, there's certain businesses that just don't transfer, but there is other businesses that if we get in correctly and we use the right strategies, we put in certain ideas into developing, you know, ways that you can exit correctly, it typically happens. So 10 million business owners will retire in the next 10 years. We're actually just at that cusp where the baby boomers, the 1946, are getting to that year where they're starting to exit. We're getting into a very huge time in history where basically there's going to be this mass exodus out of business. 93% of people plan to fund their retirement from the sale of their business, and basically overvaluing its worth. 98% of people don't know what their business is really worth. 73% have absolutely no succession plan, and 60% have no insurance. There are essential steps that every business must know to sell their company for maximum dollars. Like as I said, I always go back to the story of where really it hit home for me. A gentleman who'd immigrated here many years ago, worked 30 years in a business, came to me, we looked at his business, and I basically told him, look, unless we make certain plans, your business can be worth $2 million on the market to sell, but not today, in about 2 to 3 years. If we implement certain strategies, we do certain things. Basically, the example was, Bill had Bill Landscaping, which was called Bill's Landscaping. Bill's Landscaping was run by Bill. Bill had no manager, Bill had employees. Simple ways to do this. We told him that basically to bring in a manager to step out of the business, and not to call it Bill's Landscaping, but to call it BB Landscaping. But people's pride overcome all this, he wouldn't do it, and eventually we liquidated this company for $200,000, which to me literally broke my heart, because that was somebody who, you know, after 30 years was depending on this to retire. Do you want to sell your business for top dollar? There are 6 key things that you need to be aware of that will ensure you are prepared to maximize your sale. Number 1, buyers will not pay for potential. Buyers are interested in profit, not revenue. You can't live in the past. Well, there was one time this business used to do that. Expect to answer a lot of questions about your business. Buyers expect verifiable financial claims. And basically, honesty is the best policy. Things happen in business. Buyers won't pay for potential. You know, are you prepared to highlight your success with verifiable numbers? It's uncanny how many businesses do not have verifiable numbers. Numbers are all over the place. They don't understand their numbers. They don't know their numbers. Basically,
We know that well.
yeah, we all. Can you show that you have proven solution that surpasses others in the same market share? What sets you apart? What makes your business different? How do you really compare to similar market competitors? And what sets your business apart that is replicable and sustainable? Basically, why would someone want to come in and buy your business? What makes your business worthy for someone to come in and take it, for you to pass the baby for someone else to care for it? Be prepared to air your dirty laundry during the due diligence process. Buyers don't care what you've done. Buyers don't care what you're doing. Buyers care most about what they can do once they have acquired your business. And basically, where I say this is I go into a lot of businesses, and this is the first thing I normally have to say is, you either make your money when you own the business, or you make your money when you sell the business. Because what you put on your tax return and what you pay in taxes today, maybe you think you're skimming the IRS. Later, when you go to sell that business, somebody's not going to pay for something that you've already made. People are looking for verifiable numbers.
Right.
Set yourself up for success. Are you ready to see your profits magnified? How can we help you? It's basically time to clean up your act. It's basically time to take a look at your books, take a look at, okay, well, I've been saving this amount in taxes by doing it this way. Well, if I put this down, I'm going to pay that in taxes. Actually, you'll end up in a better position if you clean up your books and just make sure that everything is verifiable, everything is there. Of course, you can take tax deductions. We can add those back. Basically, we'll forensically go in and recast your tax returns and come with a definitive profit, a bottom line profit. Make sure that your systems are up to date and you can track key metrics. Know what your business is doing. Know your numbers. Know your business. And basically, there's so much technology out there today that, you know, it's easy to do this. Have all policies and procedures clearly documented. Basically, what you want to do is you want to be able to give your business, put it in a box, and hand it to someone else so they can run the business successfully too. And the key to all this is to build your business to run without you, because literally that creates so much more value because of the fact that if you were to step out of your business today, how would your business run? And I actually seen this, the example I seen this was actually my father, was another business owner taught him, brought him away from a month playing golf because my father never believed the business would run without him. When he came back, his business was still intact, which basically was a big dash to his big old ego. But, basically, you know, what is your true bottom line? People want to know what can I make of this business? Your total sales don't matter if your overhead is over your head.
Yeah.
You know, can your expenses be trimmed to fatten your profit? Absolutely. Business owners know how to run a business. A lot of times, there's certain things out there that they can reduce their expenses that they don't know they can avail of. Where you take someone like me, we come in, we've got cost savings strategies that we can come in, save and help your bottom line. Whereas Chip will talk about later where he helps increase your revenue, there's ways that we can reduce your expenses, thus increasing your profit line, thus creating a better value for your business. Basically, just simple example are areas you can save. There's tax incentive opportunities. You know, research and development tax credits, commercial property and cost segregation, property tax credits, hiring tax credits. There's different things you can avail of that you can get money and have, for example, with the property and cost segregation. A typical building that if you own worth $1 million can actually be worth about $100,000 cash to your bottom line. Basically expense reduction, there's different ways we can come in and do cell phone and wireless audits, where we can do credit card audits, where we can do parcel and shipping audits, utility audits, waste recycle audits, workers' compensation audits. Every little thing adds up, and basically when we look at this and we look at selling your business, businesses typically in one area can be sold on multiples. If they're sold on multiples, you can be looking at anywhere from 3 times to 4 times a multiple. So for instance, if you saved $100,000 a year, we could be looking at an extra $300,000, $400,000 in value in your business just by making simple changes. And on the other hand, increasing your revenue. So you see, it can basically you need to ramp up the curb appeal as you plan to sell your business. You need to look at your trademarks, register trademarks, intellectual property, patents, copyrights, your reputation. When was the last time you went and spoke to your customers? What are they saying about you? We see everyone out there right now sending out surveys, knowing the bigger businesses want to know what their reputation is out there, how they can improve, how they can make things better. It's no different with smaller businesses. Your brand assets, what's your company's brand promise, your messaging, what's the key messages your company is sending out there, and your visual language, have you taken a look at, what your websites are saying, your presentations, your social media, etc. These are all just simple little things that you don't think about, but they make a company more marketable when they're taken care of. The next thing is, determine what are you selling. Are you selling a location? Are you selling your customer list? Or, are you selling a brand? How is your business recognized? By owner name or by business name? Create realistic value of expectations. So many people don't remove the emotions. They've emotionally set themselves up. They believe they have something of large value when in actuality they don't. Just because it's been your baby, you spent many days, wondering how you were going to pay the bills by the end of the week, and now you're at a point that you feel this business has been successful and it has a value. The value is the perception of what someone else is willing to pay for it. Potential issues such as customer concentration. There's a lot of times where you lose a lot of value where you might have one large customer. I'll give you a particular example. I had one company that, their biggest customer was Walmart. He fell into a little dispute with Walmart. Guess what? Walmart got rid of him. Guess what? Him and 150 employees were out of work the next week. So his problem was he was concentrating on this big factor that he had Walmart. The banks will, even lending will look at it. If you've got more than 12% more than 12% is a single customer, they will reevaluate the business based on that. The percent of your business is recurring. How much of this business is a monthly? How much are in contracts that you have recurring on a monthly basis? How much depends on you going out there creating new business? the impacted profits if the owner leaves. This is where we get back to, you have to remove yourself from the situation. Because a lot of people look at a business because of the owner and the head of that business. I do business with Joe. I don't do business with Jay's Landscaping. It's Joe I do business with. And you have to do that. And we have ways that, during an exit strategy where basically the new owner comes in, the old owner remains. So they typically don't see, there's a transition period where they don't see this, that Joe actually exited his business because they perceive that Joe is still around. So what are you really? Are you offering a product or a process, or actually you offering both? This is basically, what are you doing to do? Okay. What is your business worth? This is actually the cornerstone of the exit planning process. The crazy thing is, 93% of business owners do not know what the true value of their business is. So how can you develop an exit plan if you have no idea what your business is worth? The business valuation impacts, virtually every component of this. In your financial planning, in your choice of what exit option are you taking, your estate tax, your gift tax, your life insurance, your shareholder agreements, your value enhancement opportunities, your corporate finance, your financial planning. You look at this as a retirement. If you don't know the value, how can you financially plan if you don't? Exits, your exit options. There's different ways you can exit your business. You can sell to families, you can sell to, shareholders, you can sell to a third party, you can cash out, you can do stock options for your employees. There's different ways. So if you don't know the value, how can you do that? And so forth, all the way down along the line, you have to know the value of your business. Okay, so what are the exit strategies? The exit strategies, basically, there's different kinds. The transfer of ownership to family members. This actually is 50% of businesses want to do this. Actually, 30% of businesses end up doing this. That's why this is actually the least successful part, is passing the business from you to your children. There's a lot of advantages to it, but there's a lot of disadvantages. The other one is, which a lot of companies don't have shareholders, is basically to sell to the shareholders, sell the stock back to the company, sell to management. This is a good way to do things, basically with a management buyout. Basically they use the assets of the company to leverage the company and then seek outside financing either through banking or private investors. And basically the LBO, which is basically a leverage buyout. They basically use this. Great advantage, the business continues because the same management in place, it gives it a good value. Sell to employee stock ownership plans, basically what they're called is ESOP. What is an ESOP? It's basically where you sell the shares to a trust and then the bank manages the trust. Publix is probably the most prime example of this, where basically the employees of Publix own Publix, and basically the owner is paid back through the trust, basically from the revenue generated. The next option is basically sell it to a third party. Take your business and, there's investment groups, there's private equity groups. The other way is to refinance and recapitalize the business, which is basically, going and putting debt on the business to take monies out. But a lot of times where this happens is that even though you're taking monies out, the banks are looking at personal guarantees, so there's a disadvantage in that. And the biggest one, which everyone would hope to do, is to go public, but that's not going to happen with 99% of businesses. So essentially there's no one fits all here. It's what's best for you. What do you want to do? And when we know these things, this is where we can work together with you and create that plan. Work with Todd, work with Chip, work with me. We work with attorneys, we work with CPAs. Exit planning is not just a simple thing where we sit down over a 45-minute meet and greet and coffee at Starbucks. It's a process. It's a process that can take up to a year, where we sit, we work through it, we see what's the best exit. We look at your business today. We say, okay, based on what we know today, how can we increase that bottom line? That's what we're really trying to do here, is help you to exit, help you to retire, help you to enjoy retirement, because, we've all come here, business owners, we've achieved the American dream, we have business ownership, but we'd also like to retire into the American dream. And that's what we're hoping to do with that. So, what's best for you?